What up, peeps? Welcome to today's vlog. Got Ryan way back there. And today we are working on PS1. So, yesterday we got a lot of stuff done. Got all the GameCube done, all the Xbox 360, all the PS4, all the Xbox One, and all of the Nintendo Switch. Today so far, we have two 3DO games, so I did those pretty quick, and now we're working on PS1. I've got the spreadsheet all set up. Ryan is grabbing backstock.
Yep.
And we have a lot of stuff. We have to scan all the barcodes in, which is what takes the longest. And as we're doing that, we are double checking to make sure that the quantities that we have in the system is what we physically have in the store. And we haven't had a system yet that has not had discrepancies. So it's really good that we're doing this and getting it taken care of. And I also worked a lot on the website last night, updating categories and subcategories and getting photos and all sorts of stuff like that. And we're having an issue where it is like if I already have something uploaded and then I change the categories around, they're still there on the back end, but it's not showing them on the front of the website. So we need to get that figured out. It seems like if the categories are already set and then we import, like I did with the Nintendo Switch stuff, it uploads perfectly fine. The 3DO uploaded perfectly fine. So I think what we need to do is delete everything off the website and then just re-upload it all once all the categories are done and they're set. But yeah, we still have quite a bit to go before we're ready to launch the website. So we have plenty of time to kind of get that figured out. But it is 3 p.m. right now. I just made an order for Firehouse subs, so I'm going to go pick those up for Ryan and I. And then once I get back, we'll get all this PS1 entered. Cheers! Covert Ops Nuclear Dawn.
Just one damn shit.
Yeah. Does it have a manual?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, it sure does.
Creatures.
Creatures. That one's missing the manual.
I know.
Yeah. It sucks.
You're scaring me!
Okay.
Die Hard Trilogy 2. Viva Las Vegas!
Missing the manual.
Oh, God!
Missing the manual.
Dirt Jockey.
He's also missing the manual.
Oh, God. 2 copies of Driver 1.
Oh no. Oh no, no, oh no, no. Oh no, no. Oh no, no.
Stop it!
Those go in the T's.
Driver 1.
Driver 1.
Driver 1. Driver 1. Driver 2. Driver 2. 2 copies, right?
Yeah, but one's missing the manual.
Okay. Very, very old. Okay, FIFA 13 coming out. Okay, so Fighting Force 1. Fighting Force 2. Formula 1 98. Oh my god.
Oh, Long Johnson.
Oh, Don Piano. Hooters Road Trip.
Missing the manual.
Oh,
Yay.
I know you wanted to look at it.
One's incomplete.
Oh my god! Monopololi.
Got 3 copies?
Yep.
Well, 2 of them are missing the manual.
Oh my god. Come on! Get it! Get it, boy!
Oh, no, that's the wrong one.
Man, that's not right.
This is some bullshit.
Oh my god.
Becky,
Sure.
look at her butt. It is so big.
Get out of your mind. Get out of your head.
That video with Ronald McDonald.
Yeah.
I like that video.
Yeah, I mean, is that what you were doing?
No.
Oh, because that's what it sounded like.
Sim City.
Sim City?
Sim City 2000.
got this Smurf. What, the Smurf?
Triple Play 2001, 2 copies, 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 2 copies. Triple Play 2001, 2 copies, 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 2 copies. Triple Play 2001, 2 copies, 2 copies. We are all wrapped up for the day, guys. It's time to head home. Those are all my eBay packages that need to be going out. There's a lot of them, and obviously Ryan's gone. It's, I don't know exactly what time it is. He leaves at 8, and it's like 9:30ish or something. I kind of just put the phone back there and hit record because we were just getting the stuff entered. We were just like making funny voices and just goofing around, and we were laughing so hard before I turned the camera on that I was like, I have to film this and try to get at least a couple like funny clips. So hopefully I had something to use there. But as you saw, we were entering PlayStation 1 games. So we got everything fully entered. These are the ones with no manuals. Those are all stickered and done. These ones here have manuals, as well as these ones up here and this one little stack down there. And the stickers for those are printed as well. They are right here. So Ryan is going to be working on those tomorrow. Those will get stickered and they'll be done. And then we are going to do the PS3 stuff. So we're kind of just making our way down this cabinet here, and PS3 is next on the list. And then after that, we have Nintendo Wii, and then we have like Atari, other like older like Intellivision, stuff like that. There's also some import stuff down there that we'll have to do. There's some Famicom, some like Japanese Xbox 360 games, stuff like that. And then after that, I think we're going to save PS2 for last. I honestly think that we will. It's going to take the longest. Genesis is not going to be fun either because there's so many boxed games and then so many loose cartridges as well. And the problem is that they kind of have to be alphabetized. And the cartridges obviously are not. That's why it took so long to do N64, because nothing was alphabetized. We're going to basically have to do the same thing with Super Nintendo, NES, Sega Genesis. The Game Boy ones are going to be horrible to do. Yeah, that's going to be the worst. Probably Game Boy Advance. We have so many loose Game Boy Advance games. It's going to take multiple days just to do that. But we are getting stuff done, which is really, really good. And I'm happy about the progress that we've made. So I'm going to head home. And I think Abby is going to be doing mac and cheese tonight. And I have a few more questions to answer that you guys asked in yesterday's vlog. So I will film those tonight as well. And other than that, I'm just going to be working on the website tonight, getting the rest of the subcategories up. I think I kind of mentioned it, but basically what I'm trying to do is when you click on shop, I showed you guys the website a few vlogs ago. When you click on shop, it takes you to a page where you can pick like what company you want to look at. So Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, Atari, whatever it is, Sega. So you click that, then it takes you to another page which shows you all the systems you can pick from. So obviously for Atari, it'll say 2600, 5200, 7800, Jaguar, Lynx. Sega will have all their stuff. You can click on those, and before it was just showing you all the games that were in stock for that particular system. What I'm trying to change it to is that once you click on the system, it gives you one more option to choose between accessories or games. I didn't want the accessories and games to be mixed on the website, because it just, I mean, why? There's no reason to have it mixed. It's cleaner and easier to navigate when it's not mixed. So that's what I'm working on, and it is quite the process. Not only do I have to create the categories, which sounds like it would be easy, and it is easy, it's just time consuming. But the other thing is that I basically am making custom photos for everything. The logos I put in for the consoles, you guys saw that. Even just doing that takes a long time, because a lot of them, I can already find photos on Google that have a transparent background, and then all I have to do is import them into my Photoshop file to make sure that they're all the same size, and save it as a PNG, upload it, we're good to go. But some of them, especially the weird consoles like Neo Geo Pocket Color, I couldn't find one that already had a transparent background, so I had to basically delete the background myself, which for certain things is not a big deal. The problem with Neo Geo Pocket Color, and why it took me half an hour just to do that one, is because I couldn't find a big enough picture. Everything was such low resolution, it was very difficult for me to do it. I finally just had to take a screenshot of one and work with that, and luckily it worked out. But what I'm doing for like the consoles and everything, like for the accessories tab, I'm typically just taking a picture of like a controller for that system and deleting the background, using that as the image for the accessories side. For the games side, I'm making custom photos where I'm including like I think it's roughly 3 games per picture per system. So not only do I have to find images of those games on Google, but I have to import them, resize them, move them around so that they all fit, delete the backgrounds, save them, upload them, and so on. And I've done that so far for only like 3 or 4 systems. It's taking quite a long time, as you can imagine. So I'm trying to get that done. That's why I'm working every single day on the website. Typically, when I come to the store, I'm not working on the website stuff here. I'm working on the inventory here with Ryan, and then when I go home, I work on the website by myself on my MacBook. So I'm really trying to get it done, and I'm very excited to be able to unveil it all and let it go live and just see what the response is going to be. Obviously, making the sales is going to be extremely helpful as well, because we're not making as many sales as we normally would when we're open, which, it's fine at the moment, but it will be nice to have that. But also just to be able to have the website where everything's available. It's easy for you guys to make a purchase. You enter in your shipping address, it will give you the shipping price, and like you can just pay right away, and then we get the order and we ship it out. It's going to be so much quicker and easier for you guys and for us. We've talked about it before, but Abby handles most of the messages. And just to do one order, someone will contact us, they'll send us a message, say, hey, I'm interested in some games. Do you have these 5 games or whatever it is? And we'll go and we'll check. We'll get the prices. We'll message them back and say, hey, we do have these 3 from your list. Here's the 3 prices. That's before shipping, of course. And then they have to respond back and say which ones they want, which ones they don't want. And then we're like, okay, cool. Here's the total before shipping. Now I need your shipping address so I can get you the quote. Then they send us their shipping address. We have to go into PayPal shipping and type it in, weigh the package, weigh the games with the bubble mailer or whatever we're going to ship it with so we can get the exact weight, type all the info in, get the price, don't pay for it though, go back, tell them how much it's going to be, wait for them to agree to it. Then once they've agreed to it, then we send them our PayPal email or we send them a PayPal invoice, wait for them to pay. Once they've paid, then we come back, typically have to enter in all the shipping stuff again, unless it happens really, really quickly because PayPal will time out, and then you have to redo it. And then we get to print the label, put it on the thing, then message them one more time with the tracking, give them the tracking number, say thanks for your purchase, all that. And then typically they'll respond one more time saying thank you so much or something like that. But that process right there, we were doing every single day for 10 to 20 people. And in addition to just those, there's all the people who ask about games that we don't have. So, we're getting hundreds of messages every single day. And I'm not saying hundreds of people contacting us, it could just be 20 or 30 people a day contacting us, but when they're messaging back and forth multiple times, it adds up. And so having the website is going to be so much easier. It's going to take all the stress of managing the social media stuff away. We will still get messages, of course. We will still get questions, and that's perfectly fine. But we will not have to go back and forth with someone 10, 15 messages just to ship out 3 games. It'll be so much easier and quicker for everyone involved, and I cannot wait. And Abby handles most of it, so it's not like it's a huge weight off of my shoulders because I'm not the one doing all the messaging, but I'm excited for her because it's going to relieve stress. It's going to make coming to the store more enjoyable because she's not just sitting there messaging people nonstop, constantly all day. And she does stuff even after we go home. She messages from her phone. It's a 24/7 job, basically. So that is all going to change for the better, and I cannot wait. So, guys, I've been rambling long enough. I need to head home and eat some food and film the rest of the vlog. All right, guys. It's not quite as late as it was last night when I filmed. It's only 11:38 right now, so I'm going to get through this and get this vlog edited. So I'm going to be going through and answering more questions about business stuff. Like I said yesterday, I'm not an expert at all. I just have my own experience, and hopefully that translates into learning you guys a little something. So, I don't have the questions copied and pasted like I did yesterday, so I'm just going through the comments here. Someone said USPS allows you to get free shipping boxes, and that is true. However, they are priority boxes only, and it's not the cheapest option unless what you're shipping is small but really heavy. They don't have a weight limit. Well, I think the USPS weight limit is 70 pounds no matter what shipping method you're using, but up to 70 pounds in the box will ship for one price. Typically, if you can ship it in your own box and just ship it like regular priority, or ship it even FedEx or UPS ground, it's going to be cheaper than shipping priority, but it is still an option. We ship in flat rate envelopes a lot, which they make flat rate envelopes that are just like paper cardboard, and then they make some that are also like bubble mailers. And we ship a lot of items in those that are small but end up being more than a pound. Those are free, but you pay the same price to ship every single one, so they kind of just build the cost of them into the price of shipping. they keep raising the prices every couple years or so. So I think now a padded flat rate envelope is like just under $8 to ship or something, which kind of sucks, but it's not too bad. Let's see here. What's your inventory software, and do you use GameEye for your collection? I do not use GameEye for my collection. I just use Google Sheets. It's basically just an Excel spreadsheet, but it's done through Google, just online. It's easy because you can control everything, and you know, you can't just like scan a game in or something like that. Everything's manual, but it works for me. The inventory software that we are switching to is called GameSmart. GAMESMART, no space. We are switching from GiftLogic to GameSmart, and GiftLogic is made for like a department store or something like that. But GameSmart is made for retro video game stores. So from everything that I've looked at, I did so much research. From everything that I checked out, GameSmart is the number one best option for what we want. There's another software that's built specifically for retro game stores called Fulcrum, which I would have gone with that over GameSmart, but they do not have website functionality, which is one of the main reasons that I wanted to switch, so that we could have our website and have you guys be able to purchase from it. So that's the number one reason I went with GameSmart. Someone said, I answered it in a comment, but someone said, how do you know what to charge for a PS4, and how do you know what to pay for a PS4? So I can kind of just read what I have here, but just like anything else, a mix of what we know we can sell them for already, what GameStop pays and sells for, and eBay sold listings. So the quickest answer for newer consoles, PS4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, we see what GameStop is paying for them, and we pay more than GameStop, and then we see what GameStop is selling them for, and we sell them less than GameStop. So we're paying more for them and selling them for less. And that could be anywhere from a $10 to a $30 difference. The more expensive systems we will sell for probably like $30 less. I'm not familiar with the prices off the top of my head right now, because we obviously haven't taken one in a while, and prices do change. GameStop changes their prices, every week, at least on games. But so just as an example, let's say that an Xbox One, whatever model, let's say that GameStop is paying $70 for it, and they're selling it for $200. So we would probably pay $80 for it, and we would sell it for like $180, just as an example. And those are not real numbers. I'm just making them up off the top of my head. So that's the main way. If it's like some special edition, we typically don't use GameStop to price it, because a lot of times they don't have special editions priced any differently than regular consoles. So we just go with eBay sold listings for that stuff. Do not use price charts for systems. It's not accurate at all. There are too many systems that get posted on eBay with like an extra controller or no controller or a couple games or whatever it is, and that really skews the prices. So I do not trust price charts for system prices at all. From Ninny Muggins, store's looking great, gonna be awesome when you reopen. Love these Q&As. I have thousands of games spanning over 30 years of collecting. What program/software do you use or would recommend to catalog a large collection, if any? So like I said, I just use Google Sheets, and I just have like a little template that I set up. It's very simple. Just the first column is the title of the game, second column is what I paid for it, third column is what it's worth, at least at the time of entering it. The fourth column is the date, where I got it. The next column is the date that I got it, and then the next column is whether it's complete or missing manual or something like that. And then after that, I just have a little notes section where I try to keep pretty detailed notes of condition, so that if I'm out, like at PRGE, for example, and let's pretend these are the same game. So this is the one in my collection, and this is the one I'm looking at. and I can be like, okay, the one in my collection says that the front has all these weird creases on it, and it's kind of jacked up down here on the corner. So when I'm at the convention looking at this copy, and I'm like, ooh, this one looks really nice, I can compare condition without having to physically have them both in hand. And then I can make the decision if I want to pay for an upgrade, which I don't usually do that, but so I use Google Sheets. Metal Jesus has a couple videos he's uploaded over the years about different collection catalog type apps and stuff. He did one more recently, like in 2020, that's kind of like an updated version of one of his older videos. I would definitely recommend checking that out. Other than Google Sheets, I don't really have experience with using any of the apps because I've used Google Sheets from the beginning. So that's mine. From Evo8 Tim, when you were selling on eBay and starting to rebuild your collection, how did you decide what to add to the collection or what to sell? I'm finding it hard to sell stuff that would get decent money, but I want to keep it, especially if I got a good deal on it. So for me, if I get something that I want to keep, I keep it. It's as simple as that. But there has to be some sort of limit. If I kept every single game that came into the store that I didn't have, I mean, I'd be taking way too much stuff, and obviously you can't do that. So I try to focus on either harder to find or rare stuff, or stuff from whatever system I'm focusing on at the time. So right now, the big one for me is GameCube. Any GameCube games that come into the store, if I need it, I'm keeping it. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a $2 game. If I don't have it and it comes in and it's complete, I'm keeping it because that's the collection that I'm working on. Now, if a stack of PS1 games come in and there's a bunch of $5 games in there, I'm probably not going to keep any of them because I'm not focusing on PS1. Even if they're games that I don't have and it would be nice to add them to the collection, they're not games that are part of my current goal, and they're cheaper titles, so there's a pretty good chance I'll be able to get them later on. Now, if a really hard to find PS1 game comes in, then and I don't have it, I'll probably hold on to that. But yeah, it really just depends what it is, and it also just depends on, you know, how you're collecting. If you're going for complete sets and you have something kind of rare, you probably want to hold on to it. But if you're just collecting what you want to collect and you're trying to decide between selling it for the money or keeping it as part of your collection, then it just depends on what you want to do. Is it something that if you sold it, would you want to eventually get it back, or would you not really care? So it's kind of just up to you. You just kind of have to make the decision. But that's how I do it. Let's see. From Retrohead, I've always wondered how you as the business owner handle extreme bouts of flatulence while negotiating sweet deals with valued customers. That doesn't really happen. Let's see. From Shadow King, would you sell empty cases, boxes only, or manual only, or disc cartridge only on your online store? So, cartridge only, yes, of course. Most of the cartridge games we have are cartridge only. But empty cases, stuff like that, no. With the exception of empty, like Super Nintendo, N64, or Game Boy boxes and manuals for those consoles, yes. But you're not going to see like empty PS2 cases or DS manuals on there. In order to put them on the website, they have to be in the store's inventory, and currently for manuals, the only ones we have inventoried and priced are NES, Super Nintendo, 64, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and maybe a couple Virtual Boy manuals. Anything beyond that, we have a massive pile of them, but they are not categorized, they are not priced. And as far as empty cases go, the only ones that we price out for the store are boxes for the same systems, basically. NES, Super Nintendo, 64, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and Virtual Boy if we had any. Empty Genesis cases, empty GameCube, Wii, PS2, PS3, Xbox, that kind of stuff we do not put out for sale. We just hold on to it. And if we ever get a game in that needs a manual and we happen to have it, we'll complete it. If it needs a case, we'll complete it. But other than that, we're not going to be putting random PS2 cases and manuals into our system to sell on the website. It would be too much work for not much money. Let's see. Let's see, Michael Jensen says, my biggest hangup is with the taxes, both sales tax submission and actual year-end taxes. I'm always afraid to not have a W-2 at the end of the year. Yeah, taxes are very, very stressful. And having a CPA, like I mentioned yesterday, really, really helps with that. Having someone who knows what they're doing, who can find you deductions that you might not think of on your own. Since I started working with my CPA, his name is Austin, we've had more deductions than before, obviously. So the first few years that I was doing eBay and Amazon full time and obviously paying taxes, I would go to Jackson Hewitt or H&R Block or someplace like that. And the people working there sometimes would have a very hard time doing my taxes because they're so complicated. I have so many deductions for all sorts of stuff. And, they did the best that they could, and it worked out. I probably paid more than I could have if I had an actual CPA. But since working with my CPA, we have, he's told me about certain things that I can deduct that I never thought of before. Not that I didn't think of them, I just didn't know that you could do it, and I didn't think to kind of keep track of certain things. One big example that we have not written off, I believe, until 2019. So this is the first year that we've done it, and that's food. And because we are at the store 10 hours a day, we end up eating at least once a day at the store. And, we try to cook food and bring stuff when we can, but a lot of times we end up having to order food, either from one of the businesses that we share a complex with and we pick it up, or, we get like Uber Eats or something like that. And you can write off 50% of food cost. That is, like, for us, it's, if we eat at the store, we can write it off. We can write half of it off. Obviously, we can't leave the store when we close, stop at McDonald's on the way home, and eat once we get home and write that off. It doesn't work like that. It's if you are eating while working, basically, then you can write off 50% of that, which, I mean, for us, that adds up to be a huge number, because not only is it for two people, Abby and myself, but, we also end up getting Ryan food all the time. When Josh worked for us, we paid for his food a lot of the time as well. Obviously we pay minimum wage. We don't have health insurance and stuff like that for our employees. So it's just one little kind of way that we can have a little perk to working it at the store is, every now and then you'll get free lunch and stuff like that. So food adds up, and having our CPA, I always knew you could write off food if it was like a business lunch with a client or something. You can write that off, but it counts for us eating at the store as well, which is extremely helpful. And if you are getting a CPA, I would recommend not going with someone who is super, super old. And the only reason I say that is because eBay and Amazon and selling online is a fairly new thing. It's been a thing for quite a while, but it's in, if you get a 60-year-old CPA, he might not be able to relate to the things that you tell him about your online business. My CPA is, I'm assuming he's probably about my age, maybe a little bit older than me. But when I first started working with him, he was still going to school. So he is like a fresh college graduate. He's got all the newest laws and everything, on his mind. And that's all the kind of stuff that he learned. Everything is up to date. Everything is, he's doing stuff the right way, which is very, very helpful. And he's a young guy. He plays video games. I've even been able to pay him for doing my taxes sometimes with video game stuff, which is cool. So yeah, definitely get a CPA. I mean, out of this video and yesterday's video, if there's one thing that I can say, if you're thinking about starting your own business, it doesn't matter what it is, get a CPA. It is probably the number one most important thing you can do. I would not have been able to open up the store without my CPA. I would have gotten stuck on paperwork and lost in forms and licenses and everything like that. And it would have been too frustrating for me to the point where I would probably say, this is not worth all this hassle. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't do it. But with the CPA, it's like one of the easiest parts of my business because, like we got a letter in the mail the other day from the state of Washington about I don't even know what it was, something that we had to renew that was about to expire. And I just took a picture of it and sent it to him through a text message. And then the next morning I got a text back. He said, "Hey, I took care of it." Easy. So definitely get a CPA if you're thinking about doing anything. If you're thinking about even just selling on eBay. I know a lot of people who sell on eBay and Amazon who don't pay taxes, and that is a very scary thing to do. There's some sort of limit where PayPal will not send your stuff to the IRS. I think it's like if you sell under, I can't remember what it is. It's like if you sell $20,000 or less, they won't send your stuff to the IRS. But unless you're tracking every penny and you know exactly how much you sold, I mean, honestly, even if you sell $10,000 on eBay, you should still pay taxes on it, because if you don't, and then they come back for it later, you're gonna be screwed. So do it the right way. Pay your taxes. Keep track of stuff. And yeah, it's not easy. That's another thing that some people tend to think. I think the majority of people that are watching this video right now probably do not think this way, especially if you've been watching my videos for a while. But selling on eBay and Amazon it's not simple. I mean, technically anyone can do it. Anyone can sign up and do it, but to make an actual business out of it and to keep it going and to make sure that you're following not only all the rules of the platform you're selling on, but also making sure that you are collecting all the proper information for taxes and filing those and doing everything properly. It is a lot of work, but it's worth it. There are benefits to it. Obviously, being your own boss is pretty dang cool, but yeah, it's not a simple thing. And like I said, anyone can get on eBay and sell something, but not everyone will have the determination and the drive to turn it into a legitimate business that will sustain itself. It takes a certain motivation, a certain type of attitude, just a certain type of person to stick with it and to make it work and to do it right. And anyone can learn, you know what I mean? But people seem to think that, you can sell on eBay and you can just play fast and loose and make a bunch of money quick and, kind of bend the rules here and there and, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't work like that, at least not for very long. So you got to do things the right way. So guys, that's going to do it for today's vlog. Those are all the comments that I had to respond to that were like actual questions. I understand that I might get more after this point. The video only has 28 comments right now, so it's only got 1,500 views. So I should expect that video to maybe get another 1,000, 1,500 views, which would have more comments with it, of course. So if I get any more that I think I should answer in video form, I will do that. Otherwise, I'll just respond to them with another comment. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow.
What, the Smurf?